Welcome back to Shin Trailers Reactions. My name is Bro Ryu. I'm with Shinjuku Station Podcasting and the Shinjuku Station channel here on YouTube. And in this video, I'm actually going to take a look at a recent game release that surprised a lot of us. For those who don't know, I'm one of the hosts of Gundam at MAHQ, which is a mecha-related podcast, mecha anime fan cast that I've been producing and co-hosting for the last 8 years. And on the show, we cover a litany of subjects, whether it be just science fiction or mecha anime or things having to do with mecha anime. And we've talked about Star Wars here and there as well on the show, how it compares to, say, Star Trek and Gundam as well. And we've had a lot of fun talking about Star Wars subjects. I've never been a huge fan of Star Wars, not until recently, I should say. Throughout the years, I've given certain Star Wars related movies and whatnot viewings. I always enjoyed the original trilogy. I always thought it was a pretty cool thing to watch. And Empire Strikes Back is my favorite of the three. But when the prequels came out, I was an adult and I checked those out, and man, did those suck. I've seen the Ewok movies and a little bit of the Clone Wars. The Tartakovsky version of Clone Wars is really cool. I never really watched the CG versions all that much, although I have an interest in it now because I just recently checked out Star Wars Rebels and I watched the entire first season and I was really blown away by that show. And with movie 7 on the way, it looks like Star Wars is making a huge comeback in many different ways. And thanks to Rebels, it's definitely piqued my interest in the series. And I'm now reading the comics and checking out other Star Wars in other forms as well. And I'm pretty excited about this Battle Pod game. One of the reasons why is that it is actually made by Namco-Bandai, a company that creates another game and owns the license to the Mobile Suit Gundam franchise as well when it comes to gaming, and it pretty much makes a lot of games based on Mobile Suit Gundam. The connection is that a few years ago in Japan, they actually did a Gundam game based on the same engine and with the same kind of interface, where you sit inside a pod. And when you're inside the pod, you have multiple screens around you where you can actually fly in a simulator of sorts or pilot a mecha, a mobile suit in the simulator and get that experience of being in the Gundam series. Pretty cool. They're, for the most part, in Japan and other Asian countries, but not really here in the States. If they are here, it's an expensive setup to pretty much to have in an arcade. And we all know that arcades pretty much here are pretty much dead, so it's going to be an extremely rare find. If it is anywhere stateside, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is a shot of what it looks like on the inside for the Mobile Suit Gundam game, and in a few minutes I'm going to watch for the first time the Battle Pod trailer. But I've seen screenshots, and Namco-Bandai has come out right and said that yes, the new Star Wars Battle Pod game is actually based on the same interface and the same system, although I'm sure they vary in different ways, as we see in these videos coming up. This is a clip from the commercial for the Battle Pod, so for the Gundam Bonds of the Battlefield is the name of the game. Of course, you see that salaryman, and this is a video of a tutorial that you get to see when you step into the cockpit. If you don't know how to play the game, you can watch a tutorial which will show you all the ins and outs of how to get started. That nice lady, I guess, is the host of the tutorial. You get a nice cool shot of the inside of the cockpit. Pretty neat. And this is a video taken from Andro Katsi. I might be saying that wrong on YouTube. He a little short clip of him inside the cockpit, I guess from his viewpoint before he starts to play. And it's pretty nice. All the machines are networked together, and I think they're networked throughout the country too. So if you're in an arcade that's empty and you want to play against people, it's a team-based game, which definitely you need to communicate with your team members in order to be able to survive the mission. And you can either play against people locally in the arcade or throughout other arcades in Japan. And it's phenomenal. As a Gundam fan, I've always wanted to play these games. And this video is shot by Tokyo Patrick right here. And then you got Natal Vids. She's piloting a Zaku as it launches from the from one of the gals that you see there. And then jump cuts to a battlefield in the desert. And wow, it just looks amazing every step of the way. You can even see a lot of the replays for this on YouTube, on Bandai's official channel for Bonds of the Battlefield. I don't have the exact link. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the links below if you want to see more of this game. But it's pretty amazing, man. I wish we had stuff like this here in the States. But yeah, the Star Wars BattlePod game, pretty similar. The only difference I could say between them is that with the Star Wars BattlePod game, when you play it, I think you're more on rails, like a space shooter, kind of like the old Star Wars, the arcade games like Sega put out, whether it be the original one from years ago to the new one they put out in the 90s. I think you're more on rails. I haven't played the game, so I don't know this 100%. When I watch the trailer, I have more of an idea on how that works. But it's from what I'm seeing, I like the presentation, and the graphics look pretty awesome. Let's see what's next here before we get on to the trailer. But I guess the trailer's here. Make sure my sound is right. Here we go. Lucasfilm. It must have cost a lot to even get this license.
The Force will be with you.
I wonder where you can even find this besides Disney. Woo! Oh, I'm already getting red flag because of the music. Let's go. Scooby-Doo. Oh, look at that. From the pilot viewers, a lot of people who play this game, they've been completely floored by it. Now to own one of these units is like $100,000 if you want to own one of these for your home. I think it might be the whole set. I could be dead ass wrong though. What? So you get to do the trench run. I know you get to play from both sides of the conflict, whether it be on the rebel side or the side of the Empire. I know one particular mission you get to play Darth Vader. Oh wow! You get to ride on the old speeders, man. Whoa, the blow-ups. You get to do the Battle Hoth. And I guess this is the final battle from Return of the Jedi. What? I wonder if you have to use communication and the systems are networked. I would imagine they are. It'd be cool if they have it like in Japan where there's a setup for both sides. Ooh, and you get to play on either side. Maybe they'll upgrade the game and do that. That's the trench run. Yo, peace out, Death Star. I know in the game there's also the run with Lando Calrissian. Oh shit! From Return of the Jedi. So this is the revenge mission with after the Death Star gets blown up. In the Return of the Jedi, that's the revenge mission against Han Solo. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. But yeah, yeah, it looks pretty impressive, man. Let me run that back again. I'll do it this time with a bit of sound because I would like to see exactly see if there's anything I missed. Namco-Bandai. But Lucasfilm though, yeah, it's a great use of the franchise, man. I never expected to see any of these games here in the States. But now that we got it here, it's going to be different, a little different from the Gundam Battle Pods, but it looks like the inside is pretty similar. You got the 3 screens, we got the multiple screens around you, and they could definitely add more to this game, you know, add expansions for the arcades in order to put more missions in, and probably even have missions that will have everything to do with the new movie coming out in December for The Force Awakens. So can you imagine that mission that brings down that Star Destroyer over on Jakku? And you get to play a rebel, I guess a member of the Resistance or a member of the First Order. It depends, I guess, how long ago that mission took. It might have still been during the offensive between the war between the rebels and the Empire at the time. Yo, man, this guy jumps on your whip. Yo, that's so cool. I'm glad they have like direct viewing, the direct view of the actual player as well. You're going inside the Death Star under construction, and of course this is the trench run again. God dang, you get to fly with all this. You get to see the Millennium Falcon. Pretty impressive, man. But yeah, I mean, it seems like you're going to be on kind of more on rails for the missions, unlike in Gundam where it's a kind of a closed arena where you can move where you want to within the confines of the space. But oh, of course, the Darth Vader mission. If you look real close, you can see his reflection in the view glass. There's a shot coming up later where you'll see it. But yeah, you get to play Darth Vader in that one revenge mission where you get to blow up Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon, which I guess is an Elseworlds mission, but it's still cool if you want to play Darth Vader, so not too bad. But again, there's another shot of the pods for the Gundam game. If I ever go to Japan, I definitely would like to try my hands at those. But again, I know people who've gone there to try to play those, and if you're not able to communicate with the other pilots in the team mission, they're going to hate you real quick. So learn Japanese before you play those. And another shot of the inside of the Gundam game. But yeah, you get the point. This Star Wars game is, I guess, available to be played around the world now. I know they have it in the UK, and they have it here, and they showed them off at Star Wars Celebration. So that's a shot right there of Darth Vader inside. When you play the Darth Vader mission, that's his reflection that you'll see from time to time as you go after the Millennium Falcon. But not too bad, not too bad. And yeah, that's a shot of another shot of the outside of the pods. If you happen to come across these pods anywhere in the nation or anywhere around the world, let me know what your experience was in the comments below. Feel free to comment, rate, favorite, and subscribe. And thank you for checking out the channel here on Shin Station. Also, if you ever want to check out the podcast I'm on, Gundam at MAHQ, make sure to pay a visit to gundam.mahq.blogspot.com is the main hub for the podcast. You can also visit mahq.net, which is the Mecha and Anime headquarters, which is a great site for finding out all about Mecha Anime series. They have great reviews there for Mecha Anime series. And last but not least, they have forums there for mechatalk.net is the official forums. If you want to join the conversation, feel free to. At mahq.net also, there's a lot of great scans of mecha and a lot of specs on them. So if you ever want to find any kind of specific trivia on them, feel free to go to mahq.net, hit them up and tell them that Sobro sent you. And outside of that, you also can find Gundam on iTunes. Just search for Gundam. It's a free podcast. We're up to episode 162, with episode 163 on the way as of this recording. But again, my name is Bro Ryu with Shinjuku Station Podcasting, and thanks for checking out this Shin Trailers Reactions. We'll see you next time.